Alright PSG, you've got our attention. Wait, what? The PSG project infamously failed to deliver the Champions League title that club president, Nasser Al-Khelaifi, promised more than a decade ago. But while they might not win it this season, again, they're at least proving that there might be a way for them to do so without Kylian Mbappe, or any other superstar for that matter. Indeed, with Mbappe being the last vestiges of the failed project to have left the club last summer, PSG have since become a team reborn, this time led by a group of talented youngsters who are kickstarting a new era for the club. And in what can only be described as one of the strangest defeats in Champions League history, Liverpool might well have lost by 3 goals or more if not for Alisson's masterclass in goalkeeping. But let's be honest, one defeat doesn't change the trajectory PSG are on. If anything, PSG have showcased to Europe the young and dynamic team they've become this season. Neutrals witnessed it, and Liverpool certainly felt it. So, just how good have PSG become? PSG manager Luis Enrique always believed that his team could become better without Mbappe, and so far, he's been proven right this season. Before their clash against Liverpool, PSG were riding high on a remarkable 22-game unbeaten run stretching back to last November. And since that thrilling comeback against Man City in January, they had a record of 10 wins and a single draw, putting 41 goals past their opponents at an astonishing rate of 3.73 goals per game. 2 years ago, no PSG player would have imagined sharing the pitch with legends like Lionel Messi, Neymar, and Kylian Mbappe. However, as Vitinha, then only 23 years old, admitted, it wasn't always easy for the rest of the team. The superstar trio has never been particularly interested in tracking back, so others like him had to shoulder the defensive responsibilities while they basked in the spotlight. In a particularly infamous match against Montpellier, where Mbappe and Neymar squabbled over a spot kick, the French forward also turned his back on the play at one point, simply because he hadn't received a pass from Vitinha. It was a pathetic display of petulance, but also a perfect illustration of the pitfalls of PSG's previous overindulgence in superstars. But now, things have changed. With Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe gone, PSG have made a recent but very noticeable shift towards investing in youth rather than relying on established stars. The team seems more united than ever, and this newfound cohesion is evident on the pitch. PSG have won their last 5 games in Ligue 1, opening up a 13-point lead at the top of the table, and are yet to lose domestically this season. On other fronts, they recently routed Stade Briochin 7-0 in the Coupe de France quarterfinals and destroyed Brest 10-0 on aggregate in their all-French Champions League playoff, marking the biggest aggregate win by a side that didn't concede in a knockout tie, and the second biggest overall win only behind Bayern's 12-1 win over Sporting in the 2008-09 season. While PSG had already begun shifting their focus to youth last season, their strategy was still centered around Mbappe, who carried much of the attacking load. However, with a recent surge in goal scoring, not from one player but across the team, one has to ask, are PSG actually better off without Mbappe? Although no single player can directly replace his exceptional talent, PSG have indeed replaced him with a well-functioning team. Watch our video on how Mbappe found form at Real Madrid, click the first link in the description or the card in the top right corner. When Mbappe finally dumped PSG after years of flirting with a move to Real Madrid, there were genuine concerns that the French giants would struggle to score goals, especially after one of their 2 number 9s, Gonzalo Ramos, was sidelined by an ankle injury just 20 minutes into their Ligue 1 opener. Randal Kolo Muani initially seemed poised to help fill the void up front, but his form dipped, subsequently leading him to be offloaded to Juventus as soon as the winter transfer window arrived. By that stage, however, PSG were more than happy to let him go, as their attack had ignited. Ramos's return to action at the end of November was undoubtedly a boost. But the real revelations have been Bradley Barcola and Ousmane Dembele, who have combined for a staggering 60 goal involvements this season. Barcola had already established himself as one of the world's most exciting young talents during his debut campaign at PSG last season, with the only question being whether he could add goals to his game. This season, he has certainly answered that, with the 22-year-old already netting 17 goals in 40 appearances so far. Remarkably, Dembele, often considered one of the worst signings in Barcelona's history and among the game's greatest unfulfilled talents, has been even more prolific. The winger has now netted 26 times in just 34 outings, an outstanding tally considering his previous career high for a single season was just 14 goals in 2018-19. In addition to the prolific duo up front, Ramos is also in double figures with 12 goals this season. In midfield, Desiree Doué has contributed 7, both Vitinha and Lee Kang-in have netted 6 each, while João Neves has also weighed in with 4 goals of his own. As if all that wasn't enough, the club added Kvaratskhelia to their ranks in January, with the former Napoli winger already netting 2 goals and 3 assists in 11 games. While PSG have spread their goals out across the squad, it is Dembele's recent form that has stood out in their success. The Frenchman now leads all players in Europe's top 5 leagues for 2025 with 18 goals in 15 games since the turn of the year, which makes him one of the most informed players on the planet right now. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, subscribe so that you don't miss out on our future videos. PSG are dangerous not just on the ball, but also off it too, showing remarkable aggression in their high press. Defensively, they have the lowest passes per defensive action, or PPDA, of all teams in Europe's top 5 leagues this season, meaning they've been the best at preventing opponents from settling into possession, frequently and promptly making challenges to disrupt their play. When it comes to pressing, their intensity is unmatched in France, with 85.1% of their total pressures classified as high pressures, defined as pressuring players within 0 to 2 meters. This has led to 56.8% of their opponents' touches occurring during high pressure scenarios they've created. Given their aggressive approach to winning the ball back, it's no surprise that PSG have the second highest average possession per game in Europe's top 5 leagues at 67.5%, trailing only Bayern Munich. There are still doubts surrounding this PSG side, especially since they faced several weaker teams during their recent scoring streak. Moreover, the mere fact that they drew top-seeded Liverpool in the Champions League last 16 reflects their slow start to the group stages, where they lost 3 of their first 5 matches against elite opponents. However, PSG have shown significant improvements since then, with their resilience highlighted by their season-defining comeback win against City after trailing 2-0 in the second half. While they may not get far in the Champions League this season, PSG has clearly evolved beyond relying on one single player like Mbappe, and their recent collective performances hint at a promising future ahead. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more football news, stories, and insights. Also, don't forget to hit notifications so you never miss a beat. And with that, we'll see you in the next video.